I think cybersecurity is probably one of the biggest investment areas in our times today. It's where banks are pouring money into investments to create new solutions and technologies, transportation companies, energy companies, you name it. There are cyber problems that exist in large form and in small form in every single industry. We're taking a slightly different approach to solving vulnerabilities as we find them in cyberspace or in the cyber community. And that is by looking at the machine code, looking at the underlying software that is resident in everything that we have, a router or switch inside of a network, a mobile communications device like a cell phone, even the software that's in your car. It all has certain inherent vulnerabilities that we've become very good at identifying, finding solutions to, and then providing those back to the manufacturer to, in effect, inoculate their software against known vulnerabilities. But this is an iterative process. Technology in cyber defense advances, hopefully, as fast as the adversary's technology advances. So when you have a bad actor who's trying to infiltrate one of your devices, they're also investing their time and their money in trying to find new vulnerabilities in software that's released. So it's a constant process where we have to iterate our technology to address each of these vulnerabilities and these attack vectors and care for them both in the government space as well as in the retail space. LGS has been involved in cybersecurity for 20 years, maybe even longer, from the early days of digital switch technology all the way through the current modern operating systems that exist today. This business was born out of the federal part of Bell Laboratories, which was the innovation engine in AT&T and Lucent Technologies over the years. This was the government piece of that business. A lot of the people that we have in our laboratories doing cybersecurity came out of the commercial space. They were the same people that were looking for and addressing vulnerabilities way back in the class 5 and class 4 switching era for the early digital switches that we used for telephony. There were still vulnerabilities. Now, there was no internet at the time, so it was much harder for an adversary to reach those switches. So we also combined cybersecurity with physical security and putting all kinds of anti-tampering technology in those devices in case somebody who wasn't an authorized agent were to access the device and try to put in a piece of code to allow them to gain access or to eavesdrop on a piece of communications. Those were the rudimentary foundational elements of cybersecurity. Today it's far more sophisticated. We're worrying about attack vectors that can come through the air, through an air interface, through the network, or again through a bad actor who can deploy a piece of code that does something nefarious that causes the switch or the device or router to do something that it was never designed to do. So yeah, we've been in this from the very early days of cyber, and we're going to continue in this space until all the problems are solved.